Hey Switch fans, welcome back to SwitchTop. Today we're exploring the incredible world of indie games on Nintendo Switch. These smaller studios have created some of the most innovative, artistic, and just plain fun experiences you can have on the platform. Whether you're new to indies or a seasoned player, these are the absolute must-plays that deserve a spot in your library. Let's dive into our top 30 indie games on Nintendo Switch. Curse to Golf combines golf mechanics with roguelike elements to create one of the most unique experiences on Switch. You play as a golfer who dies just before winning a championship, only to find yourself trapped in golf purgatory. To return to the land of the living, you must play through 18 ever-changing holes filled with hazards, obstacles, and surprising challenges. What makes this game special is its ace card system, collectible power-ups that let you manipulate your ball in impossible ways, like turning back time or controlling your ball mid-flight. The pixel art visuals pop beautifully on the Switch screen, with detailed animations and charming character designs bringing golf purgatory to life. While the golf mechanics are easy to understand, mastering the courses requires genuine strategy and skill, creating that perfect one more run feeling that will keep you coming back even after multiple game overs. Yoku's Island Express answers the question nobody thought to ask. What if Pinball and Metroidvania had a baby? You play as Yoku, a dung beetle postmaster who arrives on Mokumana Island with his trusty ball, which isn't actually dung, thankfully. Rather than jumping like a traditional platformer hero, Yoku is permanently attached to his ball, which you launch using flippers and bumpers integrated brilliantly into the island's lush environments. As you deliver mail and help the island's quirky inhabitants, you'll unlock new abilities that open up previously inaccessible areas in classic Metroidvania fashion. The hand-painted art style creates a vibrant, cheerful world that's pure joy to explore, complemented by a relaxing tropical soundtrack. What makes Yoku special is its zero frustration approach. There's no death, just gentle setbacks that keep the experience consistently pleasant. The Messenger starts as a straightforward homage to classic ninja action games like Ninja Gaiden, before pulling off one of gaming's most impressive genre shifts halfway through. You play as a ninja tasked with delivering a scroll across a demon-infested world, armed with a sword, shuriken, and the cloud-stepping ability that grants a double jump after striking an object or enemy. What begins as a linear 8-bit action platformer eventually transforms into a 16-bit Metroidvania with time travel mechanics that have you jumping between past and future versions of each area. The tight controls make the challenging platforming segments feel fair, while the upgrade system gradually expands your movement options in meaningful ways. The game's standout feature might be its razor-sharp writing and genuinely funny dialogue, particularly from the shopkeeper who breaks the fourth wall to hilarious effect. Dredge brilliantly combines peaceful fishing simulation with creeping cosmic horror to create an unforgettable experience. As a fisherman who arrives at a remote archipelago, you start with simple jobs, catching fish during the day and selling them for upgrades to your boat. But as night falls, the waters change. Fish mutate into aberrations, mysterious lights appear on the horizon, and the fog thickens with dangers lurking just out of sight. The core fishing gameplay loop is immediately satisfying, with a simple but engaging mini-game for catching different species. As you explore further from the starting harbor, you'll uncover the archipelago's disturbing secrets through interactions with strange residents and ancient ruins. The game masterfully builds tension through its day-night cycle. Rushing to return to harbor before darkness falls creates genuine anxiety as your sanity meter depletes in the blackness. Tunic is a love letter to classic adventure games that recaptures the mystery and wonder of playing games before the internet era. You control an adorable fox hero exploring ancient ruins and battling mysterious creatures with isometric gameplay inspired by early Zelda titles. What sets Tunic apart is its brilliant in-game instruction manual, pages scattered throughout the world that gradually reveal mechanics, secrets, and lore. Many of these pages use an invented language that requires deciphering, creating genuine aha moments when you crack its codes. The combat system is deceptively deep, with parrying, dodging, and stamina management creating tense encounters with the game's varied enemies and challenging bosses. The gorgeous low-poly art style pops with vibrant colors, while the synth-heavy soundtrack enhances both exploration and combat. Spelunky 2 builds upon its predecessor's revolutionary roguelike platforming with even more depth, secrets, and perfectly tuned challenge. As the child of the original game's explorer, you descend into the ever-changing caves of the moon, where each run presents a procedurally generated gauntlet of traps, enemies, and opportunities. The basic controls are simple: jump, whip, bomb, and rope. But mastering the interactions between the game's complex systems is what makes Spelunky 2 endlessly replayable. New additions include rideable mounts, branching path choices between areas, and liquids that dynamically flow through the environment, creating emergent gameplay moments that can be either hilariously catastrophic or triumphantly clever. The game's difficulty is unapologetic, but deaths always feel fair and teach valuable lessons for future attempts. Cuphead combines breathtakingly beautiful 1930s cartoon aesthetics with some of the most challenging and rewarding boss fights in gaming. Set in a whimsical world where the titular character makes a deal with the devil, you must defeat a series of debtors to save your soul. What immediately grabs you is the hand-drawn animation style. Every frame was created using the same techniques as early Disney and Fleischer Studios cartoons, resulting in a visual presentation that remains unmatched in gaming. The run-and-gun gameplay is tight and responsive, with simple controls masking incredible depth as you learn to parry pink objects, swap between special weapons, and master the dash ability. The boss designs are ingeniously creative, each with multiple phases that force you to constantly adapt your strategy. While Cuphead's difficulty is legendary, the quick restart option and short boss fights make the try, die, repeat loop addictive rather than frustrating. Cult of the Lamb brilliantly combines roguelike dungeon crawling with cult management simulation, wrapped in an adorably macabre aesthetic. You play as a possessed lamb, saved from sacrifice by an ancient deity, who tasks you with building a cult in its name. Between venturing into procedurally generated dungeons to slay rival cult leaders, you'll return to your commune to indoctrinate new followers, assign them tasks, perform rituals, and maintain their faith and happiness. The combat is fast-paced and accessible, with a variety of weapons and curses, spells to discover on each run, while the base building elements offer surprising depth. You'll need to balance resource gathering, food production, and spiritual activities to keep your flock loyal. What makes the game special is its dark humor. Performing sacred rituals 1 minute and cleaning up follower poop the next creates a tone that's simultaneously cute and disturbing. Sea of Stars captures the magic of classic 16-bit JRPGs while modernizing the formula in ways that respect your time and intelligence. Created as a prequel to The Messenger, this turn-based RPG tells the story of two children of the solstice who combine their sun and moon powers to perform eclipse magic, the only force capable of fighting the monstrous creations of an alchemist known as the Fleshmancer. The combat system innovates on JRPG traditions with timed hits and blocks that make every encounter engaging, while the absence of random battles and generous save points eliminate traditional genre frustrations. What truly sets Sea of Stars apart is its stunning presentation. Dynamic lighting effects create a visual richness rarely seen in pixel art games, with day-night cycles and reflections that make the world feel alive. The soundtrack, partially composed by Chrono Trigger legend Yasunori Mitsuda, perfectly complements the emotional journey. Stardew Valley is the quintessential indie success story that has continued to grow and evolve through free updates since its release. This farming sim begins with your character inheriting a neglected farm in a small town, escaping the soul-crushing routine of corporate life. What starts as simple crop management quickly expands into a rich web of interconnected systems. Farming, fishing, mining, combat, cooking, crafting, and most importantly, building relationships with the town's incredibly well-written inhabitants. The game's genius lies in its freedom. You can focus on maximizing farm profits, delve into the dangerous mines, uncover the town's many secrets, or simply spend your days fishing by the lake. The seasonal cycle creates natural progression as different crops, fish, and events become available throughout the year. Graveyard Keeper takes the farming sim formula and gives it a delightfully morbid twist. You're a modern-day person transported to a medieval world where you must manage a cemetery. Beyond burying the dead or using their bodies for other purposes, you'll craft items, gather resources, and interact with the quirky townsfolk in this dark comedy. The game shines with its unexpectedly deep crafting systems and technology trees that let you improve your graveyard and unlock new areas. What makes it special is how it balances its macabre premise with genuinely funny writing and satisfying progression. The Switch version performs admirably, making it perfect for quick graveyard management sessions during your commute. If you enjoy games like Stardew Valley but want something with a darker edge, Graveyard Keeper offers a unique take on the life sim genre that's worth digging into. Road 96 delivers a procedurally generated road trip adventure set in a fictional authoritarian country in 1996. You play as various teenagers attempting to escape across the border, with each journey mixing up encounters, characters, and situations. What makes Road 96 special is how your choices matter. Decisions affect both the current teenager's fate and the wider political situation. The game blends tense border crossings with touching human moments and occasional surreal humor. The striking low-poly art style creates memorable scenes, from sunset-drenched highways to neon-lit diners, all complemented by a fantastic 90s-inspired soundtrack. Each playthrough lasts just a couple of hours, but the procedural nature means multiple runs feel fresh as you uncover new story threads. On Switch, the game's episodic nature makes it perfect for portable play. Road 96 delivers a politically charged narrative with heart, humor, and genuine emotional impact that will stay with you long after the credits roll.
Just do what we say, and you won't get hurt.
Shut up and step on the gas!
Metro 2033 Redux brings the acclaimed post-apocalyptic shooter to Nintendo Switch with impressive technical prowess. Set in Moscow's subway system after nuclear war has rendered the surface uninhabitable, you play as Artyom, a young man who must journey through the dangerous metro tunnels to warn others of a new threat. What sets Metro apart is its immersive atmosphere. From the claustrophobic tunnels filled with mutants to the makeshift human settlements, each area feels lived in and dangerous. Ammunition serves as both your lifeline and currency, creating meaningful choices about when to fight or flee. The survival horror elements blend perfectly with stealth and combat, while the gas mask mechanic, requiring filter changes and managing cracks in your visor, adds constant tension. The Switch port maintains the game's gritty visual identity and smooth performance, making this one of the most impressive FPS experiences on the system.
Glad to see you, Colonel.
CrossCode brilliantly merges classic 16-bit action RPGs with modern design sensibilities in a game within a game concept. You play as Leah, a player in a fictional MMO called Crossworlds, who's lost her memory and ability to speak. As you explore this virtual world, you'll uncover both Leah's personal story and the larger mysteries of Crossworlds. The combat system is a true highlight, blending fast-paced action with strategic puzzle-solving elements that require you to bounce energy balls off walls to hit switches and enemies. The game features over 100 quests, 7 unique dungeons, and more than 100 enemy types, all wrapped in gorgeous pixel art that packs impressive detail into every environment. What makes CrossCode special is how it captures the feeling of playing an MMO, complete with other players running around, guild drama, and raid bosses, while delivering a compelling single-player experience. Blasphemous 2 builds upon its predecessor with even more grotesque religious imagery and refined Metroidvania gameplay. You return as the Penitent One, a silent warrior with a thorned helmet, navigating a world inspired by Spanish Catholicism and folklore. The sequel introduces 3 primary weapons: a sword, a rapier, and giant mechanical claws, each with unique movesets and upgrade paths that dramatically change your playstyle. The game's standout feature remains its disturbing yet beautiful art direction, with every screen filled with intricate pixel art depicting religious suffering and transformation. Boss fights are challenging spectacles that require mastering dodge timing and attack patterns. What elevates Blasphemous 2 above other Metroidvanias is its commitment to its dark vision. From the hauntingly beautiful soundtrack to the cryptic lore hidden in item descriptions, every element immerses you in its twisted world. Guacamelee 2 takes the Metroidvania formula and infuses it with Mexican folklore, vibrant colors, and luchador wrestling moves. You play as Juan, a retired wrestler called back to action when a threat emerges from the darkest timeline. The combat system is a highlight, blending traditional platforming with fighting game mechanics. You'll uppercut enemies into the air, throw them across the screen, and perform elaborate combos. The dimension switching mechanic returns, allowing you to flip between the worlds of the living and dead to solve puzzles and find secrets. New to the sequel is the ability to transform into a chicken with its own unique moveset, adding fresh platforming challenges. The game's visual style pops with color and personality, while the soundtrack blends traditional Mexican music with modern beats. Cave Story stands as one of indie gaming's most influential titles, and its definitive edition on Switch remains essential playing. Created entirely by one developer, Daisuke Pixel Amaya, over 5 years, this action platformer follows a robot with amnesia who awakens in a mysterious cave system populated by rabbit-like Mimiga creatures threatened by a sinister doctor. The game's precise controls and weapon upgrade system create a perfect difficulty curve. Each weapon levels up as you collect energy crystals, but takes damage when you're hit, adding strategic depth to combat. The branching narrative leads to multiple endings depending on your choices and hidden items you discover. What makes Cave Story timeless is how it balances nostalgic 8-bit and 16-bit inspirations with genuinely innovative design. A short hike delivers exactly what its title promises, a brief but meaningful journey up a mountain that packs more heart and charm into its 2 to 3 hour playtime than many games manage in 20+ hours. You play as Claire, a young bird visiting her aunt on Hawk Peak Provincial Park, who needs to reach the summit to get cell phone reception. The game's genius lies in its perfect execution of open world design in miniature. You're free to explore the island at your own pace, collecting golden feathers that increase your climbing and gliding abilities, fishing, participating in foot races, or simply chatting with the park's delightful animal residents. The low-poly art style creates a distinct visual identity, while the dynamic soundtrack perfectly complements your journey. What makes A Short Hike special is its genuine warmth and gentle approach to themes of anxiety, connection, and taking time to appreciate the journey. Animal Well stands as a masterstroke of minimalist game design that hides astonishing depth beneath its deceptively simple exterior. This Metroidvania puzzle hybrid places you as a tiny blob exploring a mysterious well filled with animals both helpful and harmful. What makes Animal Well extraordinary is its commitment to discovering mechanics rather than being told them. There's no tutorial, no dialogue, just pure environmental storytelling and experimentation. The pixel art achieves a remarkable aesthetic with limited colors, creating distinct biomes and eerie atmospheres through masterful use of lighting and animation. Puzzles range from immediately intuitive to deviously cryptic, often requiring you to reconsider items and interactions you thought you understood. The game's interconnected world is packed with secrets that the developer estimates will take the community years to fully uncover, with some requiring real-world knowledge or collaboration to solve. Neon White creates an entirely new genre by combining first-person shooting, speedrunning, platforming, and visual novel elements into something utterly unique. You play as White, an assassin from hell competing with other sinners for a chance at redemption by clearing demons from heaven. Each level is a lightning-fast puzzle where you collect cards representing weapons, which can either be used to attack enemies or discarded to activate special movement abilities like double jumps or dashes. The genius of this system is how it transforms your thinking. That pistol might be better used as a mid-air jump to reach a shortcut than as a weapon. The game's visual style blends Y2K anime aesthetics with clean, minimalist level design that makes speedrunning intuitive and addictive. Between missions, you'll uncover White's past through visual novel segments, with gift-giving mechanics that unlock new conversations and level shortcuts. Dead Cells perfectly blends roguelike elements with Metroidvania exploration to create what the developers call a Roguevania. You play as the Prisoner, a failed alchemical experiment who can possess bodies to escape an ever-changing island. What makes Dead Cells stand out is its incredibly fluid combat system with a massive arsenal of weapons and abilities to discover. Each run feels different as you unlock permanent upgrades that expand your options without making the game easier. The gorgeous pixel art comes alive with vibrant colors and fluid animations, running at a buttery smooth 60 frames per second even in handheld mode. Death is frequent but never frustrating, as each failed run teaches you something new and rewards you with cells to unlock permanent progress. With years of free DLC expanding the already massive content offering, Dead Cells delivers hundreds of hours of challenging, satisfying gameplay that's perfect for both quick handheld sessions and marathon docked playthroughs. Children of Morta combines roguelike action with a heartfelt family narrative that evolves even when you fail. You control the Bergson family, guardians of Mount Morta who must battle a mysterious corruption spreading across the land. What sets this game apart is how the story progresses between runs. You'll return to the family home to witness touching interactions that deepen your connection to each character. The pixel art is stunningly detailed, with beautiful animations and atmospheric lighting effects. Each family member offers a completely different playstyle, from John's sword and shield to Lucy's fire arrows or Kevin's dual daggers, and they gain unique abilities as you progress. The combat feels weighty and satisfying, with just the right amount of challenge to keep you engaged. Most impressively, the Bergsons grow stronger together, with passive bonuses unlocking for everyone as individual characters level up, encouraging you to experiment with the entire family. The couch co-op mode is perfect for the Switch, letting you and a friend tackle the corruption together. Hollow Knight stands as one of the most atmospheric Metroidvanias ever created. Set in the haunting underground kingdom of Hallownest, you play as the titular knight, exploring the ruins of a bug civilization with tight, precise platforming and challenging combat. The hand-drawn art style creates a moody, melancholic world that's both beautiful and unsettling, complemented by an evocative soundtrack that enhances the sense of isolation. What makes Hollow Knight exceptional is its approach to storytelling. Most of the rich lore is discovered through environmental details and brief NPC encounters rather than exposition dumps, rewarding curious players who piece together the tragic history of this fallen kingdom. The massive map offers incredible value, with entire areas that remain completely optional but house some of the game's most memorable encounters. The charm system allows you to customize your build with different abilities, from healing enhancements to offensive upgrades. The Ori Series, Blind Forest and Will of the Wisps, delivers two of the most visually stunning and emotionally moving platformers ever created. You control Ori, a guardian spirit navigating vibrant, hand-painted worlds filled with both beauty and danger. What immediately stands out is the breathtaking art direction. Lush forests glow with bioluminescence, caves shimmer with crystal formations, and weather effects create moments of genuine awe. The fluid movement system evolves throughout both games, from basic wall jumping to eventually chain launching across environments with incredible momentum. While the first game established the formula with tight platforming challenges, Will of the Wisps expanded with more combat options and RPG elements. The narrative in both games packs an emotional punch, with stirring orchestral scores that perfectly complement pivotal story moments. Despite the visual complexity, both games perform admirably on Switch, particularly in handheld mode where the vivid colors pop on the OLED screen. Cat Quest 3 perfects the accessible action RPG formula with its pirate-themed adventure across the Caribbean. You play as a feline swashbuckler exploring a charming open world filled with treasure, dungeons, and pun-filled dialogue. What makes this third entry special is its expanded naval combat, allowing you to captain your ship against enemy vessels in engaging sea battles. The combat system remains accessible yet satisfying, with a variety of weapons, magic spells, and dodge rolling that's easy to learn but offers plenty of depth against tougher bosses. The adorable art style pops with vibrant colors and expressive character designs, running flawlessly on Switch in both modes. Unlike many RPGs, Cat Quest respects your time. Dungeons are bite-sized experiences perfect for portable play, and the lack of grinding keeps the adventure moving at a brisk pace. The co-op mode is a welcome addition, letting a friend join your adventure as a dog companion. Ape Out delivers a primal jazz-fueled rampage through procedurally generated levels with stunning visual minimalism. You play as an escaped gorilla smashing through facilities filled with armed guards, where grabbing enemies allows you to use them as human shields or throw them into their comrades with bone-crushing impact. What makes this game unforgettable is its incredible audio-visual presentation. The top-down perspective uses bold shapes and vibrant colors against stark backgrounds, while the dynamic jazz soundtrack responds directly to your actions with cymbal crashes for kills and drum intensity that matches the chaos. The simple controls, move, grab, throw, and rush, create a perfect risk-reward system where aggression is both your greatest strength and vulnerability. Each of the 4 albums, levels, introduces new enemy types and environmental obstacles that require adapting your primate rampage strategies. Hades revolutionized roguelikes by integrating narrative and progression in ways that make each failed escape attempt feel meaningful. You play as Zagreus, immortal son of Hades, fighting to escape the underworld against his father's wishes. What makes Hades special is how it transforms death from a punishment into a story beat. Each return to the House of Hades advances conversations with its colorful cast of Greek mythological figures, gradually unveiling family secrets and building relationships. The combat is lightning fast and incredibly satisfying, with 4 different weapons, each with multiple aspects, and boons from Olympian gods that create virtually endless build combinations. The gorgeous hand-drawn art style brings these divine characters to life with expressive animations and distinct personalities, while the voice acting is consistently excellent across dozens of characters. The surprising depth of the relationship systems, permanent upgrades, and house renovations creates a constant sense of progress even when runs end in failure.
Crushed. All clear.
Vampire Survivor sparked a gaming phenomenon with its deceptively simple yet endlessly addictive gameplay loop. You control a character automatically attacking nearby monsters while focusing solely on movement and survival. What begins as basic enemy avoidance evolves into chaotic screen-filling mayhem as you collect weapons and upgrades that trigger automatically, creating increasingly spectacular visual effects as hordes of enemies dissolve around you. The just one more run appeal is impossible to overstate. Rounds start at 15 minutes, but you'll soon unlock ways to extend or modify runs in various ways. The retro pixel graphics are charming in their simplicity, allowing the Switch to handle hundreds of on-screen enemies without performance issues even in the most explosive late-game scenarios. The progression system is perfectly tuned, with new characters, weapons, and stages unlocking at a satisfying pace that constantly introduces new strategies and combinations. Katana Zero delivers stylish neo-noir action with a mind-bending narrative that will keep you guessing until the end. You play as a katana-wielding assassin known as the Dragon, clearing rooms of enemies with perfect precision, where a single hit means death. What makes the gameplay special is the time manipulation mechanic. After each death or successful mission, you watch a VHS-style replay of your run in real time, emphasizing that you're planning rather than reacting. The pixel art creates a neon-soaked dystopian world that's both beautiful and disturbing, with exceptional animation work that makes combat feel fluid and impactful. The narrative is equally impressive, exploring themes of trauma, memory, and identity through fragmented storytelling. The dialogue system is particularly innovative, allowing you to interrupt characters or let them finish speaking, with meaningful consequences to your choices. Celeste tops our list by achieving something remarkable, creating an extremely challenging platformer that remains accessible and emotionally resonant. You play as Madeline, a young woman determined to climb Celeste Mountain while battling her anxiety and self-doubt, manifested as an antagonistic version of herself. The pixel-perfect platforming mechanics are simple to understand but difficult to master. You can jump, air dash once before touching ground, and grab walls for limited time. These basic moves combine to create increasingly complex challenges that require precision and creative thinking. What elevates Celeste is how its difficulty serves the narrative. Your struggles to overcome seemingly impossible obstacles mirror Madeline's internal journey towards self-acceptance. The accessibility options deserve special mention, allowing players of any skill level to experience the story while still feeling challenged at their comfort level. There you have it, the top 30 indie games on Nintendo Switch that absolutely deserve your time and attention. These titles show that you don't need a massive budget or team to create experiences that will stay with you long after the credits roll. Which of these indie gems have you played? Let me know in the comments and share which indie titles you think should have made the list. If you enjoyed this countdown and want more Nintendo Switch content, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated. This is SwitchTop, and I'll see you in the next video.